Hey guys, how are you today? I am in Miami, Florida right now, and the weather is sweltering out here. I know I always talk about that I want to move to Florida, and I might be second guessing that or second thinking that right now. But I wanted to hop in and kind of talk about, my income that I was able to make when I was an enrolled agent, or I'm still an enrolled agent, but when I had my enrolled agent firm, right? So hey guys, happy Thursday. First, let me say that the live enrolled agent university training is still open. We are still accepting students, so you haven't missed that much, right? We're only in our second week of training. And so if you have been on the fence, if you haven't signed up yet, the link is in my bio. You can go ahead and sign up and you can catch the live training. Hey Lane, hey Deanna, hey guys. All right, so really quick, I sent out an email not too long ago, just pretty much stating the same title, how I made $400K. The main point of that email was really to kind of communicate to you guys that when I first started my tax business, I did become an EA first, not because I thought that's what I had to do, it's because that's what I wanted to do, right? I didn't know anything about taxes besides me doing my own taxes and my family's taxes on TurboTax, and I really didn't have a lot of like outside experience, right? I never worked at like an H&R Block, I never worked at an accounting firm. And so in my mind, like me going for an EA, one, I thought it was going to be a prestigious license, and it is. I wanted to have like something behind my name, right? And then two, what I found going on that journey was that I was becoming much more knowledgeable, right? So my first like year in the business, I had some pretty big clients come my way, and it was really by the grace of God, guys, right? I was like dropping my business cards everywhere. I think I mentioned that on another video. I was just doing as much marketing as I could. I was posting on Craigslist. Like, who remember posting on Craigslist, right? So I would post bookkeeper or tax help. Like, I would find people on Craigslist who were looking for bookkeepers and tax professionals. Like, I was all over the place, right? I was hustling for clients, right? And so one of my, like, the first handful of clients that kept coming my way were like some really complex clients, right? One of them was a lady. She owned a construction firm, and they were making well over $2 million annually. She had 20 plus contractors and employees, and she needed to file like 2 years tax returns, right? And she wanted me to do her payroll, right? Pay all of her contractors, pay all of her employees. And I don't think, had I not been an EA, like, I would have turned down so much business, not because of the title EA, right? Really because of the knowledge that I had, right? I felt a lot more confident because at least I did have like that foundation of knowledge to be able to help people who had a C corporation or a partnership. My second client, he was a chiropractor. He was making well over $600,000 a year as an S Corp, right? He was one of my very first S Corp returns that I filed. I also had it was a chiropractor. It was my construction lady, over $2 million. I had a trust client that come my way. He needed to file a trust. That one scared the heebie-jeebies out of me, right? I was like, oh Lord, I'm gonna jack up this man's trust, right? And so what I want you to know is that when you become an EA, you learn about the tax law with regards to trust and estates. You learn about the tax law with regards to S corporations, C corporations, knowing, their filing requirements, the entity election, their any corporate distributions or liquidations, or how you dissolve an entity. I've definitely helped quite a few people dissolve their entities over the past couple of years, right? Oh no, you guys can't say. Type 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Type 1 in the chat if you guys can hear me. Someone says that they can't hear me. Type a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Okay, cool. So you guys can hear me? Okay. Somebody said that they couldn't hear. Maybe try to exit out and come back in. Well, if she can't hear me, she won't be able to hear me say that message. Somebody type in chat for her to leave and then come back, and then she'll probably be able to hear. Okay, cool. So the point that I wanted to make was that becoming an EA actually helped me to feel more confident getting these higher value clients. Type in chat, what type of client, what was the client that scared the heebie-jeebies out of you, right? What was the client that scared the heebie-jeebies out of you? What type of business did they have? How much revenue did they have? I want to know, like, who was kind of like the first client that you were like sitting in the corner, rocking back and forth, just praying that you weren't gonna jack their stuff up. Type in chat, what type of client was it? Was it a business client, and how much revenue did they have? Type in chat. So while you guys are typing in chat, somebody asked thoughts on CPA versus EA designation. Hey, that was from the Money Counselor. I love that name. So obviously CPA is much more rigorous than EA, right? Because CPA, you're going over, I believe, is it 4 parts, guys? You go over audits and representation. You go over, I can't even remember the 4 different tests, but it's 4 different, I believe it's 4 different examinations that you have to sit for. But CPA is going more over like accounting and audits and examinations and regulations, where EA is just going over tax law. That's it, just over tax law. So CPA does afford you more opportunities to help different types of clients and provide more more of those advisory services. I think CPA definitely helps you do more of those assurance services. CPA is going to help you do. So, CPA is definitely is not a not an easy route to go. Like, it's an intense route for you to be a CPA, right? You got to have, most states, I think for Michigan here, you have to have a bachelor's degree, and you got to work for a CPA firm for like 2 years. You got to pass all 4 parts of the examination, then you become a CPA, right? Here, well, the EA, it's a lot less, stringent. You can study for all 3 parts of the special enrollment examination. Some people do it in a month. Some people do it in, a few months. Definitely you can get it done within 3 to 6 months. But it's just on tax law. Now, here's what I want to say about that. I do have a lot of CPAs who still get their EA, right? Because what they say is that, yes, you do touch on some tax law when you are becoming a CPA, but you touch more on tax law when you become an EA. So we do have a lot of CPAs that still go for the EA designation. They still go for the EA designation, and they personally told me that they believe that it was very helpful for them to still go after the EA. So I don't think it's like no right or wrong, to go. If you could get your CPA license, go for it. Listen, if I could get my CPA license, I would get my CPA license, okay? And actually, there's a few of my clients that are now going for their CPA license right now, right? They're actually studying for their CPA license right now, which is exciting. Thank you. So the Money Counselor, you posted those, the exams in the chat. You said financial, regulatory, audit, and business. Absolutely. So I think an EA can definitely be a big complement for your CPA license, especially if you want to really help people on the tax law side. If you want to do tax resolution, if you really want to dig deep on helping resolve complex tax matters, if you want to represent your taxpayers before the Internal Revenue Service. Like, I've had the privilege of actually going down to I've sat for many different types of audits and examinations. One was directly at the Internal Revenue Service office, where I went into the agent's office, her little cubicle, and we was sitting there going over all of my clients' receipts, all of his statements. And listen, that stuff was intense. I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm actually representing somebody, right? I actually had a revenue officer on the business side. Actually, both of these were audits on the business side. One was a sole proprietor, the other one was an S corp. But she just popped up at my tax and accounting firm. She popped up and she's like, hey, I am auditing your client. She has past due payroll taxes, and we about to take all her stuff. We about to shut this business down. And I'm like, no, don't shut the business down. I was like, I just came on as the EA. I'm trying to help her get caught up. But she came to my office more than one time and sat at my desk and had me show her my bookkeeping, like me doing the bookkeeping, me doing the payroll. I had to print everything out for her. Like, that stuff was intimidating, but it was exhilarating because I could do it, right? I was empowered to do that. And then my clients, they felt so much more appreciative and relieved that I could do that for them, right? Because let me tell you, having a revenue officer show up at your doorstep, y'all don't think they still do that. For people that are severely delinquent, especially on payroll taxes, they will show up to your place of business. They will show up at your home. This lady came, and she came to my place of business, right? So they do not play when you are seriously delinquent on those payroll. They call it trust fund taxes, okay? So the beautiful part about becoming an EA, or if you're already a CPA, you have these rights too. Let's be clear, you don't have to be an EA to represent. If you're a CPA, you still have representation rights. It's just that if you went a little bit more deeper on a tax law, EA would definitely be worth your while, right, to go ahead and get that designation as well, to study for those 3 parts of the special enrollment examination. But your clients, listen, your clients, when you're EA, your clients feel so much more happier because you're able to take on all of that, grunt work for them with the Internal Revenue Service, right? Like, you're able to actually talk to the IRS agents, go to their offices, have the agents go to or come to your office, right? Like, you're able to do that for your client, and that puts a lot of respect and trust in your corner, because they're like, my person got my back, right? My person got my back. Like, they're taking on all the grunt work for me. The money counselor said bachelor's degree, master's, 2,000 work hours, then CPA granted. Okay, some states are a little bit different, but yeah, definitely CPA is definitely a lot more rigorous. Lane says, I'm going to be an EA and hire CPAs. Yes, you can do that too. Absolutely. Listen, you guys, and some people are like, hey, should I become a CPA? I say absolutely. I love education. Like, I'm gonna be a lifetime learner, right? And I know most of you are just like me, like, you're lifetime learners. So I would think that if I was actively practicing accounting right now, like for clients, I probably would go for my CPA license too, just to do it. Just to do it, right? Not because I need it, right? Because like Lane says, you can hire a CPA, right? You don't need to become a CPA. You can hire a CPA. Well, these pigeons out here in Florida, man, they don't mess around. You can hire a CPA, but I would just do it for the knowledge. Like, I've never, sat for an actual accounting audit before, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would love to, do an accounting audit, or do or kind of like go through that process, or you know what I'm saying? Like it's a different skill set, and I love to learn. So I would just become a CPA just because I'm a lifetime learner and I love to learn. So V says, yeah, I'm more tax and accounting solutions and advisory. Absolutely. Hey, Cedric. Representing like attorneys. Yeah, so CPAs, EAs, and attorneys have those representation rights. Hey, Koi says, start studying for part 1 of the EA exam now. Awesome. V says, what's a good landing page that clients can go to for services if a website isn't ready yet? So my best advice is to do a video like this, talk about pains and problems that your clients have, and push them to a strategy session. Or I would offer a free strategy session, a 15-minute tax strategy session call, and I would put that out there to say, hey, if you need a free tax strategy session, and you can kind of brand your calendar booking page, right? Like, you could put a photo up there, you could put more details up there, you can make it look really nice, and then just have people book a call with you if they want to inquire more about services. But honestly, social media, like the first couple of years, did I even have a website? I don't even think I had a website, and if I did, it didn't look that good. It wasn't a good website. But all of my business came from just posting on Facebook, posting on Instagram, doing video. You know what I'm saying? Like all the strategies that I teach in my marketing program, those are legit. All the strategies that I do, I still do them, and all the strategies that I did. So absolutely. The money counselor says I'm the opposite. I'm sending folks out for tax resolution. You know what? Tax resolution is fun to me. You know what I'm saying? Well, it is tedious. I'm not going to lie. It is tedious. It's a lot of paperwork. The other thing is that when you're doing like an offer and compromise, the IRS has up to 2 years to respond. So it requires a lot of follow-up. Like you have to follow up like monthly at the minimum. You know, ideally every 2 weeks, but monthly at the minimum, you have to follow up when you're doing tax resolution cases with Internal Revenue Service to make sure that they received all of your clients' paperwork, to make sure that they don't have any additional questions that they might need, or any additional substantiation requirements for like any additional documents that they might need. You have to continuously follow up until the case is resolved. That's the only thing about tax resolution. What are your plans now, Krista? Hey, Lane. Lane says, what are your plans now, Krista? You mean today, Lane? Today, I'm just going to the Black Film Festival. I am in Miami for the American Black Film Festival to check out a few short stories and, you know, a little bit of networking. This is actually my first event that I've gone to, I think this year. Man, this year has been going by kind of fast, but I think it's the first event that I've actually gone to this year. I want to check out a few more conferences, and a few. Speaking of conferences, we're going to be really starting to promo the Tax and Accounting Summit, the second annual Tax and Accounting Summit. So go to my Instagram page and check out the recap video. If you didn't make 2021, you have to be in the house for 2022. I'm really excited to connect with you guys again and help you guys out in person. Pretty Eye says, which bundle is best for someone trying to become an EA? Hey, Pretty Eye. So we're currently doing the live training. I teach EA trainings on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we go for about an hour and a half. So the live training on the certifiable.com website is $397, and so you can go there and purchase the live training if you want to study with us, if you want to get training live and get to ask your questions live. So Lane says, since you aren't taking clients. So Lane, I still do tax and accounting for 5 of my own companies. Okay, so I still do my bookkeeping every single week. I do my own payroll. I handle my own tax resolution issues, because let me tell you, about 2 years ago, when I really started making some money, I wasn't prepared for that tax liability. And so we definitely on a payment plan right now. So I still handle my own tax resolution issues. I was just calling the IRS a few days ago because I lost my PIN number to pay on my business installment agreement with the EFTPS website. But I still do my own CFO services every single month for all of my companies. So I'm still active in like doing tax and accounting for my own corporations. I just don't do it for paid clients anymore, even though I get asked a lot from people that just find me on like YouTube, find me on Instagram. They'll ask me like, hey, can you do my bookkeeping? Can you do my taxes? And I actually refer those clients out to my clients, right? So I had a client come to me just recently in the government area. She was asking me about, dang, what was she asking me about? It was some sort of government compliance that she was asking me about, and I can't come off Instagram because it's going to shut the video down. But I went to one of my clients who's in government and nonprofit, and I asked her, I was like, hey, do you do this? And she's like, no, but I can learn how to do it, right? Like, so any clients that I get my way, I find my clients who are niche down, and I just refer it out to them. And then I help them with their stuff, right? I help them get their clients together. Coco says, do you suggest studying for one part of the EA exam and then take that part, or just study for all at one? I definitely recommend studying for one and then taking that exam. That way the information is fresh on your mind, and you can recall that information. Because a lot of that stuff, like honestly, after I passed the after I got my enrolled agent license in 2012, like a year or so later, like you constantly have to pull stuff back up. Like even today, like I actively teach tax law almost every single day, and I still don't remember certain form numbers. I still don't remember like certain nuances of the tax law. Like guys, it's impossible to remember all of this stuff. So I would say as soon as you learn the section, go out and immediately take it. And you, like, EA is going to be a constant, like being in taxes period, you constantly have to invest in your education. Like you have to take multiple, well, one, it's required. Like as soon as you become an EA, you have to have continuing education. You have to have 72 hours of continuing education, right? In 2020, they actually revoked my EA license because I didn't have all my CE credit, right? And I looked up, I was like, holy crap, my EA license got revoked. So I had to go back and re-up on all of my stuff again, submit it over, and get my license reinstated. So you have to invest in education almost every month. I was just talking to one of my clients through text earlier. She says she's attending different tax conferences that's offering CE credit. She's taking courses that's offering CE credit. Like she's trying to make sure that she gets like at least minimum 3 CE credits per month. You add that up over a year, that's about 24 CE credits, right? And that's about how much you need every single year to keep your license. She recently just told me that she's actually getting like 18 credits a month, right? Because she's just in a learning mode right now. So EA and just being in taxes period, like you have to constantly learn, you know, new tax law updates that come out, right? Every time legislation passes a tax law bill, we have to know that stuff, right? So you can take a class that's teaching all of the current legislation that's passed, and they'll grant you CE credit, and they will submit that over to the Internal Revenue Service. So I would say absolutely, like as soon as you study for one part, go ahead and take that exam. Liz says, do you think bookkeeping will be obsolete pretty soon? Oh, you know what? I don't think it's going to be obsolete. Well, and I think what you mean by this is like, will bookkeepers be obsolete? I don't think so. I think that what's just happening is that it's just really easy to do. So a lot of businesses are doing it themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, we still need bookkeeping. Everybody still needs to do bookkeeping. It's just that you might not necessarily need somebody right away to do the bookkeeping for you, right? Because the software has made it really easy to do. Now, do I think that they're working towards like making it really, really perfect? Like when I do my bookkeeping now, let me tell you, because I've already told QuickBooks, you know, what certain transactions are. I've already set up, you know, reoccurring allocations, right? So QuickBooks already recognizes my transactions. So even if I have like 1,000 transactions for the month, QuickBooks has probably already allocated like 700 of those for me already, right? And so that's kind of like where we are going with this. Like the software is becoming a lot more intuitive, so it's already classifying the transactions for you. You do still need to go ahead and reconcile, make sure that the things that went into the system actually went into the bank account, right? You go ahead and reconcile, and then you close out the books. So I don't think, you know, bookkeepers are going to be obsolete. I just think that more and more businesses are just able to do it themselves and not really hire. The other thing to that is you got these big tech companies. They might not seem like tech companies, but they are. But you got tech companies like Bench and Intuit. that's doing the bookkeeping for the clients. And because these tech companies have what's called economies of scale, they're able to offer the services for pennies on the dollar. You know what I'm saying? So while we're trying to charge $500 to our clients, they're offering the same service for $100 per month. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's making it harder for us, is that they have economies of scale, and they're hiring us to do the work, right? I talked about this before. Like, Intuit is hiring EA, CPAs, and tax attorneys to do the taxes. And now they're hiring accountants and CPAs to do the bookkeeping. So they just have an unfair advantage because they're so big. You know what I'm saying? And they make so much money, and they already have the clients. Let's see. Nora says the live training is the best to pass fast. Yeah, I think so too, Nora, especially to get your questions answered. Oh no, you should sign up now. You should definitely sign up now. It's not too late. The Money Counselor said, ever consider outsourcing your own accounting you do for yourself? No, and the only reason why is because I like to keep an eye on my money. Especially like when you're a growing business, like, you have to keep an eye on your money to make sure that things that come through are correct, making sure that you're adhering to your budget. I check my numbers daily, right? And I do my bookkeeping weekly. And I just don't see myself outsourcing that at the moment. I don't see myself outsourcing it at the moment. And then too, it keeps me grounded into knowing like what's going on right now. Like right now, I do all of my CFO services for my company. And what's fascinating is that, like, I've learned so much more about what's really important when it comes to like providing CFO services, like as from a business owner's perspective, right? I've learned like what's really required, that now when I go and teach it, I'm able to draw from real world experiences and say, hey, this is how this directly impacted my bottom line. This is how we increased our cash flow, or this is how we restructured or reorganized our finances, or this is how we were able to adhere and stick to our budget, because I'm doing it for my own companies. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think I will outsource anytime soon. You said, I can't wait to get on your level. You're so funny. Coy. Frank says, what is your advice for a new accountant graduate? Advice for a new accountant graduate, I would say get as much experience as possible, and don't think that you have to, work 5 years to go, and get your own clients. I would say get experience, try to work for an accounting firm, but also go out and get your own clients, right? Start, go ahead and get your first bookkeeping client. Go get your first tax client. Really, college, it was great, right? Studying for the EA is great, but what's even greater is like that real world experience. You know what I'm saying? You actually going in there and looking at a client's books and doing it. Excuse me. She said, when AI comes out, that it's over for the bookkeeping industry, but clients need to understand how to engage with the software. Absolutely. 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 More shifting to analysis. Yep, I'm in Florida. Yep. Thank you. She says, Krista, you are a blessing to this industry. Thank you. The Money Counselor says, most accounting firms have a non-compete, so do your 1 year and get out. Yeah, don't take their clients. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you don't need to take their clients, because you're going to get your own clients. You're not going to want their clients anyway. So, but I do recommend like you getting some in-house experience. I wish I would have gotten some in-house experience at a actual accounting firm. But then, like I said, don't be afraid to go out and get your own client. You know what I'm saying? Like, go out and do your marketing and get your first bookkeeping client, so that you can go ahead and get that experience in. All All right, guys. Well, thanks for chatting with me today, and I hope to see a lot of you guys in the live training if you aren't already in the live training. And yeah, I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys.